up, motherfucker?
Hold up, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
People that are in those training rooms with him know how good.
Because he just knocked dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look.
They're edge.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room, January 17th, 2022. Getting ready for Monday Night Football Wildcard edition. First time having a wildcard game on Monday night to conclude the NFL Super Wildcard weekend. Going to have the Cardinals at the Rams. Game starts here, I think, about 8:15. So here in just a little over an hour here in the Eastern time zone. But we'll talk about that. We'll recap what happened, everything that happened over the weekend in the NFL playoffs. Cowboys getting beat. Who's to blame for that? The Bills are out in New England. What's that say about Bill Belichick? The Bengals beat the Raiders. Bengals won the playoff game for the first time since 1990. Bucks took care of the Eagles pretty easily, and then the Chiefs were impressive last night with the Steelers, especially from about 5 minutes left in the second quarter on. Got off to a slow start there in the first quarter, but then after that, the Chiefs' offense just exploded. So got quite a bit to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, with Easy Money, a sports betting show. That show is live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with this show, G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. It's also live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can find both those shows in podcast form on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Also, don't forget, we just released our new weekly pro wrestling podcast, G.S.R. You can find it on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it. You can also find the video version of it on YouTube. The second episode dropped yesterday at 9 a.m. New episode drops every Sunday at 9. Go check that out. Like I said, you can find the audio version on the podcast networks or the video version on our YouTube. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we share everything about our shows, whether it's our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show, or it's an interview announcement, or a show announcement. Just anything to do with the show gets posted to social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. You can find me at Chris D. Gonzalez on Facebook, Chris Gonzalez at Gonzalez Sports on Twitter, and then Chris Gonzalez on Instagram. But everything gets posted to all those social media accounts. So follow us there so you always know what's going on. Check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. We're getting close to 150 subscribers, hoping to get past 150 by the end of this week. I think we're at 142 right now. So please hit that subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. Hit that bell so you get notification anytime we go live so you don't miss it. If you're watching on Facebook and Twitch, please hit the follow button and the like button as well. We'd greatly appreciate that. If you listen to the podcast versions, please rate and review, like, follow. We greatly appreciate. The more likes and more shares and follows we get, the more our stuff gets out there and the more it helps us. So we appreciate when you guys do that. All right. One more thing before we jump in this. Don't forget tomorrow Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we have GWR Live as a pro wrestler and owner of Warrior Pro Wrestling, Buck Sexton, will be joining the show tomorrow evening. We'll talk about Warrior Pro Wrestling WPW5, which is this Sunday in Danville, Indiana. If you're a pro wrestling fan and you can get to Danville, Indiana, go check out Warrior Pro Wrestling Sunday. Doors open at 2, bell times at 3. They got a stacked card. We will actually be, GWR will actually be in the building live streaming the show on YouTube and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. So if you're a pro wrestling fan, make sure you join us Sunday, 3 p.m. on YouTube and Twitch. But all right, let's talk about some playoffs. Let's go ahead and talk about tonight's game first. We got the Rams, Cardinals, and the Rams. These teams split the regular season matchup. The road team won both times. Cardinals are on the road this time, so will the road team win for the third time? I think this is a pretty even game. And if you look at the stats, both these teams put up pretty even numbers throughout the season. The Cardinals scored 26 points per game. The Rams scored 27. The Cardinals averaged 373 yards a game. The Rams averaged 372 yards per game. The Cardinals defense allowed 21 points a game, and the Rams defense allowed 21 points a game. So, like I said, everything's pretty much even until you get to opponent yards. The Cardinals allowed 329 yards a game. The Rams allowed 344, so just a few more. That's not bad. Turnovers, the Cardinals have turned the ball over 15 times. Rams have turned it over 23 times. That's the biggest difference when you look at these. And then another big difference is the Cardinals have 114 penalties on the season, where the Rams only have 76. But the big different one is the turnovers, because to me, that's the key of this game. The Rams, finished the season pretty strong, other than they lost that overtime game, the last game of the season. But Stafford threw 8 interceptions in his last 4 games. Okay, you won those games, but you're not going to win any game. Well, many games, I should say, if any, in the playoffs, turning the ball over 2 times a game. And against this Cardinals team, if they turn the ball over 2 times, they're not going to win. So that's one thing that worries me about the Rams is Stafford's 8 interceptions in the last 4 games. And what worries me most about that, it hasn't been against blitzes. It's been against zone coverage. So teams have been dropping back in zone and been able to get turnovers off of him. So that means he's throwing the ball to the wrong receiver. So we'll see if he can clean that up tonight. But if Stafford throws 2 interceptions tonight, Rams are going to lose this game. They're not going to be able to overcome 2 or 3 turnovers like they have the last few games against a good team. I think this game is going to come down to the line of scrimmage. Which defensive line is going to be able to put pressure on the quarterback? I favor the Cardinals in this game. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game by 3. I'm thinking maybe 24-21. But I like the Cardinals in this game because I think their defense is going to be able to get to Stafford, and I think Stafford is going to throw at least 1 interception, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game. Is going to be a turnover by Stafford. And if you look, the Rams this season are 2-5 against playoff teams, against teams that made the playoffs this year. That the Rams played in the regular season, they're 2-5. On the flip side of that, the Cardinals are 5-2 against teams that are in the playoffs. So the Cardinals have won against good teams. They're battle tested, where the Rams haven't won against good teams. They beat the Cardinals once. That was 1 win against a good team. And I think the other one might have been Dallas, was it? And we saw what Dallas looked like in their first game. Getting bounced by the 49ers, which I had picked that. I didn't think that was an upset. Some people called it an upset, but I don't think that was an upset. But anyway, back to this game. So the Cardinals are more battle-tested. The biggest thing about the Cardinals is Kyler Murray has to get the ball out of his hand. He takes too many sacks a game. He's been taking 3+ sacks the last 4 games, and that's just drive killers. If there ain't nothing there, throw the ball away. That's what. And then, but with the Rams, you got that with the Cardinals, but with the Rams, you have to worry about interceptions, turnovers, because that's been the problem. The Cardinals are 8-1 on the road this season as well, so they've only lost 1 road game. I like the Cardinals tonight in this game. Like I said, I figured they're going to win by 3. I actually, on the picks I gave out today, I gave out Cardinals plus the Cardinals and the points. Or actually, I took Cardinals money line in my picks I gave out today. And then moving on, let's talk about some of the other games that happened over the weekend. You had the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Bucks played yesterday. Bucks just controlled that whole game. The Eagles' problem is once they fall behind, they got to turn into a passing team, and they just don't have a drop-back passing game right now. And I'm not saying it excuse me. And I'm not saying that it's all Jalen Hurts' fault. I don't think they have the weapons either to have a drop-back passing game yet. Yes, he still has to develop as a quarterback, but they have to have better weapons on the outside. Once they get behind, they're in trouble. Bucks 31-15 there. Then you had the 49ers over the Cowboys, 23-17. This really wasn't a close game until there in the fourth quarter where Garoppolo decided to start turning the ball over. But other than that, the 49ers really dominated the Cowboys. And that goes back to what I thought to begin with was you couldn't pay Dak the money that he wanted. He's not that guy. He's led teams to 8-8 or 9-8. This team, okay, they were 12-5 or whatever this year, out in the first round of the playoffs. They can't show up when it's big. The 49ers dominated that game. The score is closer than really what that game should have been. Jimmy G don't throw a dumb interception and give the Cowboys basically a garbage touchdown to almost get them back in the game. Like I said, other than that, the 49ers dominated the Cowboys. I don't know. I mean, where do the Cowboys go from here? You got plenty of weapons for Prescott. You might lose your offensive coordinator. He might get offered a head job. Defensive coordinator might get offered another head coaching job. So you might lose one of them. The defense did turn around and play better this season. But you still got beat by a 49ers team, and you couldn't stop them at all. They scored like on their first 5 or 6 possessions. Yeah, 2 or 3 of them were field goals, but still, you can't give up points like that you can't give up points every possession and win in the playoffs. But Dak Prescott has to show up too. I mean, the Dallas offense just couldn't get anything going. Prescott was 23 of 43 for 254 yards, a touchdown, and interception. Elliott didn't look healthy at all. He had 12 carries for 31 yards. Then at the end of the game, there's 14 seconds left, and they're trying to drive down and at least take a shot to try to win the game. Prescott runs for about 15 yards, slides down, and they try to spike it. Well, I've always, from just being a football fan and watching and hearing other former players and stuff talk, I've always heard it's like a minimum of 17 seconds to be able to get downfield, get set, spike it, and be able to have a chance for another play. But they had 14. Well, he slides. Instead of giving the ball to the ref, the center grabs the ball, sets it, they get over it. Well, the referee has to barge through the line and try to get the ball to set it, and time ran out. And some people are trying to blame the refs. That's not the refs' fault. The refs have to get the ball. That's on the Cowboys. That's on Dak Prescott. That's on the leader of the team, or it's on Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. I mean, that's just terrible time management there. You got to know, get that ball to the referee so he can hurry up and get it spiked or set, so we can hurry up and get it snapped, and at least give ourselves one play, give ourselves a chance. But they didn't execute that right. So now Dak is 1-3 in 4 career playoff starts and 2 losses at home. Since 1996, the Cowboys are 4-11 in the playoffs and no conference championship appearances. And everybody will be talking next year how the Cowboys are going to be the favorites to go to the Super Bowl again. They get hyped up every year, and then this is what happens if they even make the playoffs. If it wasn't for they play in the NFC East, they wouldn't even made the playoffs. But they get basically 4 to 6 guaranteed wins a season just by being in the NFC East. Then you had the Bills against the New England Patriots. Bills blew the Patriots out. That was a totally different game than what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be the wind was going to play a factor, and it was going to be more of a running game, and that the Patriots would be there in the end. It'd be a real close game. But the Josh Allen and the Bills just came out from get-go and just took control and done what they were supposed to do. Going to set up some nice matchups here for the next round, for sure. And then you had the Bengals and the Raiders, and this is a game a lot of people are going to talk about for different reasons. The Bills blew the Patriots out 47-17. But no, the Bengals beat the Raiders 26-19. But what everybody's going to talk about is the play where there was an inadvertent whistle, and it was on a touchdown pass. By rule, I guess the rule is if the ball is still in the air when the whistle is blown, that you just replay it like the play never happened. They called it a touchdown, and they went and reviewed it, and they ruled that the ball had been caught when the whistle was heard. From the replay thing that I've heard, it sounds like the whistle goes off right before the ball's caught. But that's not what cost the Raiders the game anyway. I think it was going to be a touchdown whether that whistle blew or not. I don't think it affected the defense because it happened so quick. So I didn't have a problem with them keeping it a touchdown. And I don't think that's the reason that the Bengals beat the Raiders either. I mean, the Raiders had plenty of chances. The Bengals gave the Raiders chances to win that game, and the Raiders couldn't capitalize on it. Which is going to set up some nice divisional round games. As you have the Bengals at the Titans. Is going to be the first AFC matchup, and then that's going to be Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Then Saturday at 8:15 p.m. is the 49ers at the Packers, and then that should be a good game. And then on Sunday we have the winner of tonight's game will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3 p.m. And then that's Sunday at 3, and then Sunday at 6:30 will be the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs in a game a lot of people thought at the beginning of the season would be the AFC Championship game. It's going to be a divisional game. That should be a heck of a game on a Sunday night. So we have divisional matchups are all set other than we'll find out who plays the Bucs tonight. Getting ready for, I think the divisional round games are going to be real fun to watch. Bills and Chiefs games should be great. I think whoever wins this game and the Bucs is going to be a real good game, which I'm thinking the Cardinals are going to win tonight. I think the Packers are going to beat the 49ers. And Bengals and Titans is going to be a good game, fun game to watch. I'm pulling for the Bengals just because I don't want to root for the Titans because they're an AFC South team, and I like Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is going to be the next star at quarterback. This might be his year to get the Bengals to maybe not the Super Bowl, but at least to the AFC Championship game. And you get there, who knows what could happen. I mean, they've beat the Chiefs once this season, so I mean, it's not like It's not like it would be impossible for the Bengals to go on a run here and make the Super Bowl. Not saying that it's going to happen at all. I think it's going to be the Packers coming out of the NFC. And out of the AFC, I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills probably coming out of the AFC. I think it's gonna be the Bills against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. And Green Bay versus I'm gonna say probably Tampa Bay as a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. All right, before we get out of here for this evening, I'll give out the picks I gave out today on Easy Money and Sports Betting Show for tonight's game. I took the Cardinals money line. I have the Cardinals winning this game. I think they're going to get at least 2 turnovers on the Rams. I have the Milwaukee Bucks minus 5.5, the Portland Trailblazers minus 2.5, the Miami Heat money line, the Phoenix Suns minus 3.5, and the Utah Jazz money line tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget, we will be live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. We'll break down all of tomorrow's games. Take a look at the NFL divisional matchups for this weekend. Break them all down. Hopefully, some of the other guys will be here with me. And then tomorrow at 7 p.m., we have owner and pro wrestler / owner of Warrior Pro Wrestling, Buck Sexton, will be joining the show. So come join us. Don't make sure to join us for that tomorrow night. Both those will be live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern with G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room. You can find G.S.R. Gonzo Sports Room, Easy Money, a sports betting show, and G.W.R., our weekly pro wrestling podcast, all on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. You can also find GWR weekly podcast / YouTube show on our YouTube page. If you would like to hear the video or see the video version of it, the first 2 episodes are on our YouTube page. The first 2 episodes are on our podcast networks. New episode drops every Sunday at 9 in the morning. So be on the lookout for that this Sunday at 9. Like I said, we have an interview with Buck Sexton tomorrow at 7 p.m. Interview with Coda Holiday on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Then this Sunday, we will be live in Danville, Indiana at Warrior Pro Wrestling at 3 p.m. for for WPW 5. It's going to be a great show, so come join us for that. We'll be streaming that live on YouTube and Twitch. And then I think we're going to go live Saturday night for the UFC pay-per-view. Probably do a live watch along and play-by-play for that. So make sure I'll be posting stuff on our social media. Be on the lookout for graphics and stuff about Saturday night. And like I said, we'll be at Warrior Pro Wrestling on Sunday. I hope everybody has a great evening. Enjoy the football games. Thanks for joining us. Please hit that subscribe button. Be a friend. Tell a friend about us. Help us grow. Help get our name out there. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.